Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. I'm here live on location. Uh, People requested CM Punk countdown thoughts as we're getting closer and closer to the 10 o'clock hour. What are my thoughts as the possibility of CM Punk comes to AEW? But first, I want to give a review reaction of this movie, Don't Breathe 2, that I saw earlier today. Now, of course, here I am on location, and as soon as I do a video, that's when people come closer to me, which is typical of life, but that's okay. Uh, I saw Don't Breathe 2 today. I remember enjoying the first one, but I couldn't really recall everything about it. So when I felt lucky that I got to the second movie today just as the movie was about to start. I missed the previews and everything, but I caught the opening of the movie. Uh, but I was a little lost because of this, I guess, spoilers, for this Don't Breathe 2. Um, I wasn't really sure how this young girl fit into the story. I could have forgotten. I think it was 2017 or 2018 that Don't Breathe, the first one, came out. So I was a bit confused as to who she was because I remember in the first Don't Breathe, it was like this, blind guy who lives by himself, and these attackers come in, and he's a tough guy, or maybe he's attacking the kids or something. I couldn't remember this young girl from Don't Breathe 1. Maybe some of you have seen these films and know what's going on. That being said, the first 45 minutes, once again, spoilers, have a drink on me. The first 45 minutes of this film, I'm trying to figure out what's it, what's, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. And even the young girl character says, "What's happening? What's going on?" And the blind guy says, "I don't know." So when it becomes apparent that this is kind of like a thing where the protagonist and the antagonist are kind of blended or mixed up, or, depends on your point of view. It's just that the stakes were not really presented. So you're kind of just watching a lot of great action, but you're really not emotionally invested until it's revealed what's revealed. Now, I guess I won't give it away. I guess most people haven't seen this movie yet. But overall, I'd say Don't Breathe 2. If you like the first one, this is a great second one. The lead actor guy is very good. Hey, Michael. Michael, let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm in a place where people usually don't do podcasts. I'm here at Epcot. There's all this background music. I try to find a nice secluded spot, buddy. But, it's just typical of the world. If you see somebody who's obviously trying to sit by themselves, people just want to sit right next to you. Like you make a spot for yourself where you're secluded, you're away from people, and people just inevitably need to crowd you. At least that's how I feel about things. I mean, I just all the time, like, I park in spots. Thanks, buddy. I park in places where I don't want other cars near my car. I sit my body in spots that are secluded from other people, and yet, like flies to a flame, people want to put their vehicles near mine, and they want to put their bodies near mine, and I just don't understand it. You can't. I mean, it's just. I try to be tactful with this, but people always just want to come near me like I'm the Christ Messiah or something. In any event, so I would just say, Don't Breathe 2. The lead actor guy is really good. His name is Steven Phil or something like that. I can't remember seeing him in anything else, but he's a great actor, older guy. And this is kind of cool to see this older guy in a role that he's doing a great job. So this movie, I enjoyed it. Don't Breathe 2. And the young actress who plays, I guess she's got a couple of monikers in this movie. I won't ruin it, but good actress, and she's doing great. Hopefully, she'll be okay and not traumatized by these films. Now let's get to perhaps the main event for some of you folks. Now we're going to get into Wrestle Talk Zone. A buddy of mine on Facebook requested I chime in again. I did do a nice over an hour discussion last night. One thing I want to say is AJ Lee. Wouldn't it be nice if AJ Lee, who is CM Punk's bride, his younger bride, she's 10 years younger than him, Wouldn't it be nice if AJ Lee got a contract with AEW and you can see AJ Lee versus eventually a Dr. Britt Baker or AJ Lee versus whoever, Penelope Ford or some of these Japanese ladies. I mean, AJ Ford versus the Magic, or AJ Lee versus the yeah, go see the movie, buddy. I do recommend it, Michael. Michael's got a point. Love the first one. Had no idea how they good guy him for part two. See the film. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Talking about Don't Breathe 2, I just saw it today. Another thing everyone keeps in mind, movies are exponentially improved by the quality of the presentation. So that's why I always encourage everyone to see the movies on the big screen, any big screen, but some theaters are better than others. This AMC theater in Disney Springs was quite good. And guess what? SummerSlam, Cena versus Reigns and everybody else is playing at AMC theaters tomorrow night. So if you have an AMC movie theater in your local state or district, see if the wrestling SummerSlam is playing there on the big screen, if you're so inclined. Just a thought. That kind of is old school, like early 2000s. There was a place in Providence, Rhode Island, the Castle, that would play all the pay-per-views on the big screen, and they had food there and everything. It was a lot of fun. Hey, Adam, what's up going on, buddy? AJ and Punk going to be the equivalent to Macho and Elizabeth. As for a wrestling power couple, probably why Cody and Brandy got tossed to the back burner. Well, they also had a kid, right? Brandy had a child, and they're also doing that reality show, Adam. So I think, look, I'm not in these people's personal business, but I'd say Brandy seems like a pretty nice lady. Uh, I'm assuming she wants to spend some time with the infant, and not just toss the kid off onto nurse, attendants and nurses and stuff like that. So I think that, if Cody and Brandy are spending time with their young child, I'm not going to pick on them for that. As far as Macho and Elizabeth, yes, but also remember this, Adam. AJ Lee can work, and I would dare say that AJ Lee is a better worker for her division than her husband. That's just my hot take. I'm an AJ Lee fan. I'm unapologetic about it. I'm not trying to be a simp, but I think that her Divas rant, 10 years ago was great. I haven't. She had a book come out. I read most of her book in a bookstore, and I didn't really like it, to be honest with you. I just sat there in New Jersey and read her book in a bookstore, and I didn't like her book. It was okay, but it wasn't great. It was just another typical WWE wrestling story. But I like AJ Lee, and there you go. But I'd love to see her against Britt Baker. I'd love to see her against um, who's the Magic Girl in AEW, the Japanese woman wrestler. And who was the champion, Riho, that Cornette always makes fun of. But I like Riho. You know what I mean? Yeah. Michael Roach is an AJ Lee fan. So wouldn't it be fantastic? Now, a lot of people are already predicting this, that AJ, I'm sorry, they'll start the song, Cult of Personality by Living Color at the beginning of Rampage tonight at 10. And instead of CM Punk coming out on cue, uh, MJF will come out on cue. So that's been predicted on Twitter. I think that's a great little angle. Of course, now that somebody predicted it and that prediction's been spread around, it most likely won't happen. What does Adam say here? Cody did mention that he really resented his dad for not being there when he was younger. I doubt Cody devotes the time to the business his dad did now. Yeah, and it's a different animal, too. You got to remember, Adam, these guys, and I'm not diminishing their efforts by any means, but it's a cush job. AEW is so cush, meaning cushion, like a cushion, for these wrestlers. They're getting paid, I'd say, $150,000 each at least, and that's just like low-level guys on the roster. And I think that for all those AEW wrestlers, it's a dream come true because most of their matches were at Daly's place. Let's see what VAR. I can see CM Punk will announce his first AEW match against Darby Allin on either Dynamite or Rampage next week, and his second AEW match is against Sting at All Out. That would be a dream money match. CM Punk versus Sting. Yeah, if CM Punk got through Darby, and then meaning got a victory, even if it was close, it would naturally set up a CM Punk Sting thing. That would be very interesting, though, wouldn't it? Or you could even have Sting cost CM Punk the victory against Darby, Darby gets a victory over Punk. It'll be a little shocking to have Punk lose that early. But then Punk says he wants to get a piece of Sting before he goes after Darby. Now, the only thing against that, perhaps, is that these are all baby faces, which in these times, it's a little bit different than the old school, where baby faces can have grudges against each other. For instance, Omega and Moxley were both baby faces when they were beating each other up a lot. Did I miss somebody's comment? Yeah, the only difference is with this one, Adam, is that Elizabeth wasn't a wrestler. She was not a worker. She was great. Love Miss Elizabeth, rest in peace. But AJ Lee, and I just feel that AJ's career got sacrificed because of her devotion to her husband. So good for her for being a good little wife, but her career suffered, right? And I'm not trying to be patronizing. I'm just saying that as a fan of hers, her wrestling, I wanted her to be wrestling by now. And here's the thing: I did a video yesterday where I gave credit to I think VAR was on there to Wrestle Brothers from India. He broke down that 11, what was it, 05, 11, 21 numerology from CM Punk on Instagram, stating that it could be the date November 5th, 2021, out of St. Louis, Missouri. There's a Rampage, so maybe that's what will be the CM Punk actual wrestling debut. We don't know. I mean, how much ring rust does he have? Apparently, people are saying he's training. He's 42 years old. I tend to think that these wrestlers do have great muscle memory and that it won't take too long for them to get back in the ring. Do you think Don Tony and Kevin Castle will remember? That's a great topic, Adam. Thanks for asking that, buddy. Do I think Don Tony and Kevin Castle will ever reunite to do their show again? Adam, can you write in a few sentences what happened? Because I don't even know what happened to those guys. I listened to those guys quite a bit. I wasn't a Patreon of theirs, but I listened to them. I enjoyed their chemistry. And Don Tony was the more excited guy, and Kevin was the more laid back guy. I thought it was a good mix. I like Kevin Castle. We bust balls with each other. My buddy Johnny Z on here likes to get in the mix, so it's a 3-man ball bust party. Usually I'm the WWE attacker, they're the AEW attackers, which is all fine. It's all fun. I don't know what happened to Don Tony and Kevin Castle. Did they have a personal split? I know Don was having some medical issues and had a big surgery. He looks good now. But Adam, if you could write that up real quick, buddy, that would be great. I just don't know what happened. So we're pulling up on 9 o'clock. It's very exciting. It's a wrestle night in America. Here we go. Don Tony imploded the show because he wanted all the YouTube money. Kevin didn't want to do video on YouTube. Interesting. Well, here's the thing. Was Don Tony going to cut Kevin in on the money after taxes? Because there is taxes for YouTube money, which I haven't been monetized yet, guys, so I don't even know. But I'm getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. So I'll find out soon enough what this is all about. I've been putting a year in, 13 months at least, seriously to YouTube, and another 2.5 years unseriously. Since 2017, I started doing a lot of YouTube videos, but I've only taken it seriously for about 13 months. I don't... Love it. I love that comment. It's a long story. Well, Adam, I appreciate you. If there's some type of link or something, or maybe someone broke it down in an article or whatever, I would love to hear the story of how they broke up. Morbidly, I guess, because I've never really communicated with Don Tony. I've communicated with Kevin Castle, as you know. I respect Kevin Castle. I think he's a good guy. I think there's a lot of ball busting that goes back and forth between us. Him for WWE, me for AEW, Johnny Z in the mix. It's just fun. I get nothing personal against those guys. And I like Don Tony, and I think those guys are cool guys. But, here's the thing. I like Vince Russo. I can't listen to every Vince Russo podcast. I can't listen to the Conrad podcast I put the most time into, but I can't listen to Tony Schiavone, and I have a hard time listening to Bruce Pritchard now because he's, to be honest, such a shill. I think VAR said that last night. Somebody did. I think it might have been VAR that said Bruce is a shill now, Bruce Pritchard. So I pick and choose the podcasts I listen to. I certainly put a lot of time into listening to podcasts. Some of my friends do podcasts, and It's not that I don't want to support them. There's just so many hours in the day, and I'm doing my own thing, and they're doing their own thing. Well, Monty and the Pharaoh, of course, Michael. And as a matter of fact, I was enjoying the Missy Hyatt. I did have a couple of comments about the Missy Hyatt, who at one time, and maybe she's forever the first lady of WCW, if not all of pro wrestling. She was the first for a lot of the wrestlers, Buff Bagwell among others. But some of her Southern Belle thing, I would kind of question her. Does she know that those Confederate statues, most of them were put up in the 1950s, not during the Civil War or before the Civil War or right after the Civil War? I believe they were called the Daughters of the Confederacy, put up all those Confederate statues in the South. So it was the original Karens, the OG Karens, put up those statues. So those statues are just something that rich white women put up, and they weren't really, I think it was Lee, General Robert E. Lee, who said that the Confederate flag and all that stuff should not be commemorated. He said it himself because our country is trying to heal, and we haven't properly healed. And when you have people like Missy Hyatt, as great as she is in wrestling, who seems to be holding on to her Southern heritage, then you're never going to fully heal, now are you? Tony admitted he's a shill because he's getting paid by them. You mean Shivani or you mean Don Tony, Adam? Well, here it is, man. I grew up in this. I have a Civil War chess set, right? So I have the Civil War chess set, a fine pewter. When I was a kid, Mike, I used to watch wrestling at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they'd have the Civil War chess set from the Franklin Mint, those commercials. And for 17.95, you would get two pieces every other month, but you had to pay every month. I had the whole thing down. Now I didn't even ask my parents to invest in that. I had no money to buy this thing, but when I got to be older, and I had my own money, and Craigslist got invented, I went searching and found a Civil War chess set from the Franklin Mint. Shivani. Okay, so Tony Schiavone admitted he's a shill because he's getting paid by them. I'm assuming you're saying AEW. Well, yeah, I mean, commentators are paid to be shills. I mean, they're not being objective. Jim Ross has said that all the time. You give him a microphone, he'll do great commentary for whatever crap you have on TV. What else? I'll put Mike Monty over. Now, when am I going to be on the show? I was scheduled for June 3rd, and now it's like September. Mike, so when am I getting rescheduled? And have you fine gentlemen read my book yet? Distance from Avalon, When the Dying and the Dead Reunite. I think we're overdue for that discussion. Now, have you and the Pharaoh, Jimmy Pharaoh, sat there and had a book discussion about my fine book? So I'm happy to be on your show. But look, I like Missy Hyatt. Who else did you have on recently? The Gertner episode, Joel Gertner talking about New Jack and Gertner's mom in the nursing home, and showing Gertner showing his mother the picture of New Jack coming out of the Chinese restaurant was cute. Very good. They both read my book, which would be a nice reminder to everyone else to purchase and read my book, A Distance from Avalon, When the Dying and the Dead Reunite, currently on Amazon and Kindle. And also the sequel's coming, and Fight or Play Basketball is on Amazon Venda. Thank you very much. So looking forward to that, Mike. What else did I watch on Monty and the Pharaoh? The Gertner show. I started to watch. You had Mustafa from the Gangsters. He was pretty good. He was good. And then I watched that lady. Who's the hot lady with the big chest from New Jersey? The one from the reality shows. Nice lady. She was a tough chick. That was probably the most fun. So everything is good. I'm here at Epcot. I'll show you a little glimpse. I guess I can't show too much. I guess I can go outside and show you there's some fireworks going on. So let's do this, gentlemen. Hang with me. I'm going to pack up my little bag here. I'm going to see another movie tonight. I'm taping the CM Punk show. I'm taping CM Punk on Rampage. So this is what we got to do. We got to gimmick up, gentlemen, because you're supposed to not walk around. But I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to show you that there's fireworks. Hold on. God damn it. I'm just trying to zipper up the bag. Let's see if I can show you these fireworks, gentlemen. I came here. It was a rainy day. It was muggy, and I'll be honest. I just haven't been physically comfortable today. You know what I mean? It's just one of those days where like it's just very sweaty and so forth. So I don't feel very good. We'll go through here just to prove that we are where I say I am. It's very fun. Okay, we gotta make a quick exit. The hard thing about this place is you can never really be alone. I have issues with it's kind of like a torture for me because as much as I like being out and about, I don't really like other people. So an amusement park is kind of like torture for me in a sense because it's like I like all the things in the amusement park except the other people, which is hard to not be around other people. If that makes any sense. Like it's hard to like if I could rent this whole place out for myself, I would, but that's not in the budget. Once I start getting that YouTube money, right? So going over a bridge. I'll try to show you guys. So I'm supposed to see another movie soon. You hear the test track. That's like the only thrill ride in this place. I'm supposed to see another movie with Rebecca Hall, I believe. She was in that Barcelona movie 15 or 20 years ago. Like Rebecca Hall was like the third most attractive woman in the movie. Because you had like Scarlett Johansson. I'm gonna go over here for a minute. Too many people standing near me. Oh my god. Yeah. Marissa Jade. So I'll give everyone a referral if you want to see a really attractive, I believe Italian, was she Italian Chinese mix? Something like that. Marissa Jade on the Mike and the Monty and the Pharaoh show on YouTube. Thanks. I appreciate they gave me a mention. Monty and the Pharaoh on YouTube, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling talk show. Marissa Jade, fun episode. Who do you think Billy Botti's mole is in the WWE? Adam, you have to explain that one to me, buddy. That might be news to me, buddy. Is that like an AEW spy or something? Is that someone from AEW who's spying and getting talent over? You have to explain that because that's news to me. I mean, I remember way back when I think of the mole, I think of, was it Bill Alfonso in ECW? What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? John Batcher. That's Russo's guy. Yeah, I don't know, Adam. I don't know Billy Botti's. It's news to me, man. I guess I haven't been listening. Like I said, I listen to a lot of stuff, but there's only so many hours in the day, right? So if this is a Vince Russo thing with Billy Botti and there's a mole in the WWE, is that for information? Is it for talent? What are you saying, buddy? You'd have to type it up. John, I just saw to catch you up real quick, I saw the movie Don't Breathe 2. I put it over. I said it's a great film. If you're into a lot of violence in Don't Breathe 2, I'm currently at Epcot Center. And I put over the CM Punk thing. I said that we're doing good, man. I'm here at Epcot. I'm kind of trying to. There's a lot of people around me. I kind of like hiding, but it's hard to hide here. Like I was just saying, the contrast of me is that I like to be out and about, but I get really uptight when there's a lot of people around me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a weird guy. Like I'm the life of the party, but I kind of like my people at a distance. A distance from me. So I don't know. I have a lot of spatial issues. I like my space. think I'm going in the wrong direction here. I'm trying to get out of this place. Because now we're at the test track. The test track was closed earlier. It's all very confusing. Those of you that are interested in this Epcot stuff, I did do a live podcast the other day. Well, were you unfrozen now, buddy, or what? The picture froze on Peacock or on me? I was saying that SummerSlam will be available on the big screen, AMC movie theaters. AMC movie theaters are having, well, am I unfrozen now, John? Am I moving around? Because I see myself moving around. Are you just seeing me frozen and just hearing me talk? Because I don't know. I see myself moving on the monitor. I don't know, John. I'm seeing movement, so maybe I'm frozen for you. In any event, so I'm predicting CM Punk's going to talk tonight. I don't think he's going to have a match. Maybe refresh your browser, John, and maybe I'll become unfrozen. There is a ride here called Frozen. That's another story. People making noise. What else? There's rides. All types of fun. Just get the fuck out of here. Just feeling very cramped. So we did a live from Epcot podcast the other night. That was fun. If those that are interested. For CM Punk, I'm predicting he'll come out, he'll talk, he'll say something, maybe out there. I don't think he's going to be too much to ask. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, I'm at the Nassau ride. I don't know. I'm going the wrong way. Well, glad to hear it, John. You're back. Very good. So it's going to be a fun night tonight. The anticipation, we're less than an hour away. I'm going to get going. If there's any other thoughts or comments, please go ahead and write them. You got it, John. If you haven't, I think you're a subscriber, but if not, please subscribe. I got plenty of AEW clips, plenty of pro wrestling. Check out my buddies, Monty and the Pharaoh. And everybody's having a good time. So I'm just trying to get the hell out of here. I'm kind of like, there we go. Park exit. Sometimes the hardest thing is how to get out. You know what I mean? Like you just want to leave. So I'm finding my way out of here. I probably won't be back in Epcot for a few months, so I should really enjoy these final moments. I'm really just kind of physically uncomfortable. I'm tired. Well, the funny thing is, John, I was at that match. Diesel versus Brett, King of the Ring 94. I was there for that, buddy. Young man that I was. I don't think I've done a full video on that show, but Baltimore Arena. I did not suffer through the commentary by the football guy because who was that guy? How much does this guy weigh? I was in a lousy seat. I was in the nosebleeds. You're talking about the roar with Piper and Lawler, Owen, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Rotundo, Shyster. The dark match had Quang, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I was there, buddy. I'm not sure what sit you mean. Seat? I was in the nosebleeds, like really shitty seats. Like there was 3 of us. My friends Colin, Chris, and I were there, and it was a it was a good time. The shitty thing about the Baltimore Arena, at least back then, they didn't have TV monitors. Like they didn't have the 4 big screens. So if you had a lousy seat, you just had a lousy seat. Um, the the Brett Diesel match is pretty good. That's part of their trilogy. That's the first match of their trilogy. I believe the second one was Royal Rumble 95. And the third match of their trilogy was Survivor Series 95. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, actually, your buddy there, AJ Norris, was the person that demanded this video, buddy. He wanted to know my thoughts on CM Punk. I told him I did a podcast last night, the Late Night Wrestle Chat, but Michael, AJ Norris wanted more, so here we are. Which I appreciate that. I appreciate him referring you, buddy. But yeah, that Diesel Brett match, I was there for that. I'll have to do a video about that. You guys are not able to see how deftly I'm avoiding bumping into people. It's just the thing with these amusement parks is you find yourself like walking and then there's like people walking towards you, and others may enjoy it, but for me it's a lot of anxiety. Like just that people are walking in my direction kind of freaks me out. You know what I mean? Well, I've been to a lot of great wrestling shows, John. Memories are on there, but you can see I'm talking about old school NWA, WCW, Bunkhouse Stampedes, Super Clash 3, Sting Invader. I have a memory like a wrestling elephant, and you can see some of my memories. Check this out. Showing you the orb. Let me see if I can remember anything else from that King of the Ring '94. It was the first. I think it was the first time that Hogan was with another company in a long time. I think it's the first pay-per-view where Hogan had officially appeared for someone else's show, which was WCW. So it was definitely the beginning for WWF of the post-Hogan era. So that was an adjustment. And I don't even know if they had slapped that label of New Generation on the product yet or the show WWF. But you could tell they were trying to find their way. And I think that's one of those deals where, well, that's good, buddy. It's good. It's good that if there's actually female wrestling fans, that's always a good sign. You know what I mean? Because we don't have enough. And they're always welcome. They're always welcome to watch wrestling. So nothing against that. You can see I'm a sweaty mess. I'm just not comfortable. I'm really feeling horrible right now, physically. But I'm determined to show you guys some sights. I'm going to have to... We're going to the exits, gentlemen. Yeah, well, Ted Turner, I think Ted's still alive, but he's not in great shape. I mean, age catches up to all of us. That's why you got to make your mark when you can. Walt Disney did not live long enough to see this Epcot created, to be honest with you. His brother did, but it's just one of those deals. So you live until you die, right? Try to accomplish something. I think I'm going to adjust a little bit. Yeah, you're right, John. That was the heel spin until '96, but Hogan, as a babyface, some people forget, was actually American-made. Hulk Hogan in WCW from '94 to '96. But let's be honest, it just wasn't the same without the machine of the WWE. Hogan also lost some body size. Okay, well, John, I appreciate you being here, buddy. Adam Montefiore, I think we're getting close to CM Punk time. I'll check in. A friend of mine volunteered. A couple of guys volunteered to do some commentaries later, so that might happen. So you're welcome to check in later tonight. Might be a late night for me though. My old wrestling pal. One person how they can help. Well, they go right here to customer service. Well, that's where I was headed before you interrupted me. You know, sometimes it's just there's a little too much interaction. Well, and then I think I saw Aaron bumped into him at that Vader show on Vader's kind of farewell tour, which I think was in Brockton. It was supposed to be the baseball stadium. You had your son with you, and Vader was in a 6-man tag, I want to say with Gangrel and Tommy Dreamer against some people, some other wrestlers. I'm not sure if that was Top Rope Promotions or what. Now we're trying to leave this place. It's always the hardest part is getting out of here. So, what do you say, Aaron? We're gonna have a big. You excited for CM Punk or what? Well, good to hear you. Good to hear that, buddy. Good to hear. Yeah, the city of champions, Brockton, was a little tough. Tough little city. Glad you moved to the Cape, buddy. That's better for your family. Better place to raise your kids. Uh, your son must be much older now, I would say, because nobody gets younger, right? Oh boy. Let's try to get out of here. Yeah, only 11. Thought he'd be older by now. Yeah, very good. Well, I guess he can only do so much, right? Before you know it, he'll be asking for those car keys, buddy. And the cycle begins again. And as you may know, Aaron, I'm in Florida, where I've moved, going on 2 years. And you can see the sweat, the perspiration of excitement. Oh, it's nice to just get out of here, get away from these people. I have all these fireworks at night, but fireworks just don't do much for me. You know, fireworks to me are something that's kind of overrated. What's the point? You know what I mean? I mean, when I was a kid, I liked fireworks, but at a certain point, it's just like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? It is kind of one of those deals where, I mean, yeah, it's fine, fireworks, but it's not like it's going to change your life to see fireworks. You know what I mean? Oh boy, I'm just a sweaty mess. It's muggy. And that's the thing I've discovered with these parks. If you come here too early and you get a sweat going, and of course my hair's all grown out now. If you come here too early and you're uncomfortable, you can never really get comfortable. You're just going to remain uncomfortable. It's going to compound. So the painful life lesson is don't get here too fucking early. come in like after sundown. And also bring a change of clothes. And that's why I carry the backpack. Now, the fucking double-sided sword of the backpack is I put this thermos in my backpack, but the thermos probably weighs 4 pounds. So then I'm carrying like a 4-pound weight. So that's tough. Okay, folks, I think we'll call it a night. Any final words? I give you about 2 minutes, gentlemen, for final comments, suggestions, thoughts, queries, and then we'll call this a wrap. So, in short, Don't Breathe 2, I do suggest it. Once again, I'm a person, I need to see the first movie before seeing the second one, which I did. So I would suggest it. And CM Punk, I'm sure he'll be there tonight. I'm counting on it, and we'll see what happens. But any other comments or queries or statements, make them now. All right, I'll see you next time. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Thanks for all the subscriptions, gentlemen. Oh my God. Just sweaty mess. Oh, now I gotta find my vehicle. It's always a fun time. Oh, just gotta find my vehicle, gentlemen. Hey, what's up, Lou? Well, Lou, I basically was just saying that the movie is good. Don't Breathe 2 is good. Counting down to CM Punk, and I also made a statement that I think AJ Lee would be nice if she was here. I'm leaving Epcot. I was telling folks that if you come to Epcot, if you're like me and you're a sweater, it's best to come later in the day. And August is probably a real tough month to be here for a guy of my size and stamina. I'm just a sweaty mess. Okay, buddy. Talk to you later, Aaron. Good to hear from you. Aaron and his watercolors. You could have plugged it, buddy. You could have put your website up there. I would have plugged it for you. A Wujik and his watercolors. Aaron used to be a school teacher, and the kids would say, Mr. W, what does the W stand for? Wrestling? So I remember that story. Okay. God in heaven. I think I'm pulling up on my vehicle, man. I am just a mess, a sweat bag. And now I'm in this state where, do I rough it out and go see this film, or do I go, yeah, exactly. Do I go to the dwelling and shower up and kind of like reboot myself? But if I do that, I probably won't want to go out again. We're still here. Every step of the process is people surrounding me. I just approached my vehicle. And as I approached my vehicle, someone starts their vehicle. And their vehicle is right behind mine. So, of course, they're hoping that I'll pull out so they can just easily pull out. So they're just going to sit on their fucking ass and wait for me, thinking I'm going to pull out, when in fact I'm going to be here for a while. So, you know what I mean? God. Oh, fuck. Just not good shape. I'm in pain and misery. So now they're getting the point. Everything's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, I'll see you later, guys.